Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial. If you've been building with Solidity for a while, you agree with me that there are always issues when you are trying to handle G submodules in Foundry. The reason is simple. Foundry doesn't support G submodules natively. As a result of that, there are always dependency issues and inconsistencies that will slow down your work. Some other developers have faced this issue, and Mario built this package manager called Soldeer. So mainly Soldeer is a Solidity package manager, and it abstracts away the pain of developers when we are trying to manage JIT submodules. Like I mentioned earlier, JIT submodules are not a good solution for managing dependencies in Foundry. Now, npm.js was built for the JS ecosystem, not for Solidity, and that's one of the reasons for the inconsistencies when you are inheriting stuff. If you are a smart contract security researcher, you would have noticed that there were times you wanted to clone a code base into your machine and you're having issues with the version of maybe OpenZeppelin to import or the version of layer 0 to import, and that is always a lot of issues. So this is why Soldier is giving GitHub versioning of the releases. Once you are using any dependency, there will be versioning that the current code base is using. And this makes it easier for anyone who wants to work on the code base later on. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how you can use the only package manager in Solidity right now called Soldier. I'll be teaching you how you can use it in your project and simply making your work easier, especially if you are working in an engineering team. At the moment, these are the popular libraries that Soldier supports: OpenZeppelin Upgradable, PRBMark, Soulmate, Uniswap V2 Core, Uniswap V2 Periphery. So we'll be playing around with OpenZeppelin contracts. Let's say you have a Foundry repo now that you want to use to build your protocol. How can you import or install OpenZeppelin contract to be used as a dependency in your protocol? So you can come here, click on OpenZeppelin. There are two ways to install. The first is to install the Soldier crate. The second one is to install Soldier using Foundry. As a person, I prefer simply using 4G install to install everything I'm doing in Foundry, which is pretty straightforward. Now, if you look down here, you can see that there is a lot of download here, and you can see the versioning over time. You can see, and while the current version that is on Soldier is 5.2.0. So let's play around and install OpenZeppelin contracts of Soldier into our code base. Simply come here, click on copy, then go to your VS Code. Once you are in your VS Code, simply cd to the directory you want to operate in. Then in the instant case, I initialize the Foundry repo here with hello Foundry, and this is it. So let's try to put install Soldier and see how it goes. Okay. That was because I installed it in the folder before shooting the video. So right now you can see it's running. When you are building with it, it will ask you a couple of questions. Do you want to use Foundry.toml or Soldier.toml? Of course, all of us are familiar with Foundry.toml, so I think it's better to simply use Foundry.toml. Say one and click enter. So this is how it works. Usually, you expect your dependencies in Foundry to be in the lib folder, but that's not the case with Soldier. Soldier will create a separate directory inside your project for dependencies. In the instant case, you see OpenZeppelin here. You can see access, token. And what makes it kind of more interesting is that, as you can see here, writing to the log file added OpenZeppelin contract remappings. So it's already remapped. So when you try to import, you can simply say at Open Zeppelin contract 5.2.0 slash, and it will pick that you mean the dependency under dependencies called Open Zeppelin contract 5.2.0. If you're familiar with remappings, you should get this. If not, I have a video on remapping that I recommend you watch right away. Like I mentioned, the remapping is already done, and when you are importing, you simply have to say this, and you keep importing any aspect of the contract you want to import, say token, ERC20, access, any other thing else, vesting, any other library of Open Zeppelin you fancy. And let's come to the foundry.toml we created the other time. As you can see, this is the version already. We are using version 5.2.0. So if anyone were to later work on this contract, they already know the version of Open Zeppelin we are using or we used while pushing this to production. And it will help everyone sync or clone the code more easily into their local machines. Simply, that's how to install Soldeer into your machine. And right now, there are a couple of things in the usage guide that I think might be helpful, especially if you are not so familiar with Foundry. Some of the things mentioned here are simply things you would have known if you are very good with Foundry, but if not, you find them very helpful. So if you want to initialize the project with Soldier, you can simply say forge Soldier init, and it will be initialized. This is how you add a dependency. You say forge Soldier install, name, and version. Then the version is very, very important. You have to add it when you are importing things to Soldier. What if it's the case that you're trying to work with a dependency that is not yet formally supported on Soldier? You can simply say forge install name of the dependency version, then the JIT URL. That's simple. For example, something like this. If it's an existing dependency, you use what we used the other time and simply say forge install the name of the dependency that is already supported by Soldier. If you like recursion, you can recall your installation. The usual Foundry command for updating dependencies also apply here. The only minor difference is you can add Soldier. This is how to remove a dependency and pretty much what you need to hit the ground running. Now, this is for other engineers around. If you have a dependency that is not yet supported by Soldier, or maybe if there is a dependency you would have wanted to see on Soldier that is not currently there, you can simply come here and open an issue and add it. Then come here, create an account, then push it using Soldier push command, and that's how you contribute to Soldier. I plan to contribute by adding a couple of dependencies later on, but this is how you can also add to the value in Soldier. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope with this video you've known how to work with the Solidity package manager called Soldier, and it helps you in your smart contract engineering journey. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day.